Yeah, come on in. Welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody. Hey, beautiful people. Let's go ahead and have some chat. Can we go ahead? You already know y'all already know the drill. It's like the moment you see me pop up in your broadcast, you should already know, oh, I got to share this because there's no reason why I should milk all this valuable information that I know Ruth Mac is about to share with me and embark on me. Hey, welcome. Come on in. Go ahead and grab your seat, grab your pen and paper. I'm in a different area. So let me know if you can hear me okay by putting in a 2 in the chat in the comments that yes, you can hear me, or give me some hearts to let me know that my audio is coming through okay. Is that all right? Welcome. Go ahead and park. Can I just borrow at least 10 minutes of your time? I promise you it's going to be so delightful and it's so on purpose. It's so necessary. It's perfect timing for you to come on in. We've been doing this now for several days. 30 real reasons why you're stuck. If you've been missing out, go back. Give yourself permission. I'm going back and forth here because I have my Instagram and I'm also on my LinkedIn community as well. Go ahead and connect with me if this is your first time finding who I am. I am a career strategy partner, leadership development. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to help high key performers in their career to be able to stand out as that top authority. Yes, so they can start magnetizing those premium companies their way effortlessly. Meanwhile, I want to go ahead and zoom in. Let me know if you have been tackling this area and been finding some struggles in this. Do you pretty much open up your day, at times or a lot of times with running through a lot of emotions, waking up out the bed? Who can relate? I do believe in having a common regimen, but if you're finding yourself where it's hard for you to nurture your emotions and be able to have be able to manage your emotions around difficult type of people, or maybe having a conversation, but just not sure on how to manage those emotions, how to contain those emotions, right? Remember, I talked about it before where quieting the noise, Coyote. If you haven't watched that movie Soul, who's familiar with Soul? It's an animation movie. I promise you, it has a lot of metaphors. It's one of the actors on there is Jamie Foxx, and he plays a role of a musician. Go watch it. It's amazing. I binge watched it with my kids, and we had a phenomenal time. Where am I going at with this? You want to be able to know, well, Ruth, how do I contain this so I don't have self-sabotage habits? And if you are in that space of having self-sabotage habit, you're not alone. Go ahead and put a 1 in the comment that's saying, Ruth, I'm ready to hear this. How do I balance some of my emotions so that it does not take the best of me? That's stress hormones. No one doesn't want to feel that stress hormones that many of humanity these days are blowing off the roof through the thermostat on how much level of stress they're giving themselves on a day-to-day basis. Who can relate? Let me know if this is definitely resonating with you. Thank you for the hearts. Go ahead, put some fires in the comment to let me know that I'm talking to you. And I promise you, I'll personally go into the comments and comment with you and engage and have some fun party with one another. Is that all right? So here's the truth. You want to be able to ask yourself this question: how do I help myself from not harming, getting any self-betrayal, perhaps many ways of maybe refraining from lashing out from sensitive type of conversations? The immediate somebody touch, maybe steps on your big toe, you immediately retaliate or react on that. See, growing up for me, and maybe you all can relate to my story, is that I had caregivers who had no problem, by the way, in expressing their emotions. Who say yes? You got those grandparents, maybe those great grandparents, or even your mom and pop, right? So you got to understand, even for me, for example, is when growing up, if I went outside to go play outside with the neighbors' kids, right? It was a problem. So there's words that felt like back then for me, not now, but back then growing up, felt like bullets, felt like firecrackers, right? The sound of firecrackers, the way it hit my soul, the way it hit certain energy factors or any faculties in my mental space. Who can relate? Go ahead and comment and put a number 2 that, Ruth, you're talking to me. So fast forward, even as a teenager growing up, I find it hard to pull back my emotions when someone hurts me, someone hurts my feelings, and I may burst through certain variety of emotions, whether it be through sadness, anger, and just holding all of that emotion sometimes in does not help you. Who knows that? So back then, I didn't know how to leverage my resources around me because I wasn't grown up. I didn't grow up that way on, hey, here's how, maybe dummies on, the book Emotions for Dummies, Balancing Your Health for Dummies. I was not accessible to that, even though it was around me, back then. I'm not going to tell my age, but just the knowledge on how to navigate and how to find these resources like how we do now. And sometimes you all may still have an opportunity or a gap on how do I reach out? How do I manage some of these emotions so that way it's not taking the best of me? Because you and I know, here's the truth. You are not yet tapping into your core soul, your core value, if you find yourself out of alignment, if you find yourself not acting like your day-to-day higher best version of you, right? Even though, for example, for me, while I'm still in this conversation as my teenage years, even though I was in the medical magnet, because of my father, he was very determined on me going into medical field. I believe that even the kids that I was in my medical school, my medical magnet program in my high school, some of them were really great at containing their emotions, right? And on the flip side, a few weren't able to actually do that. Matter of fact, a lot of teenage kids around me was having a hard time expressing themselves, being able to manage your tone, your communication, your etiquette. That is not taught in high school. Did you get taught that in high school? Many people around me didn't. Who can relate? Let me know by going ahead and dropping a 3 in the comments that I am not alone on this. So oftentimes you having to find yourself to create this personal development map on how to be able to communicate better, how to balance your emotions. And if you even by chance, perhaps have access, great for you. What are you doing with that valuable experience? Are you maybe helping your team in order to bridge that gap of communication and maintaining their emotions and not come out there frustrated because they may have had to stay another couple of hours at work because their skill set is valuable? How you help them contain certain imbalance, hormones, cortisols that's bursting out of the human body, right? So here's what I want to challenge you today to do, and it's super fun. If you experience loss from not winning, right? A game, for example. Growing up, I was huge on being an athlete. I was, believe it or not, I was a soccer player. Where are all my soccer players? Go ahead and put a 7 in the chat room, in the comments, to all my soccer players. And I also played tennis, believe it or not, all the way through my first year in my university. Where are you getting at? So you know how you're holding on and to the game night instead of when you experience a loss in my soccer days or in my playing tennis, being so focused on wanting to win. And when you do experience that loss, and when I experienced that loss, I hold on to the tension of the loss versus, wow, I liked how I did that left hand. Or wow, I love how, Judy was able to take the ball from the opposite side of the team and then be able to score. We don't think about it that way. Who says, Ruth, you're not alone on this? I want you to be able to make a decision today and start challenging yourself on focusing on the areas of what's good came out of it. Embrace it. Embracing, even though it may have been a loss for the company in certain areas, but what has been the lesson learned that you were able to kind of pinch away from that situation? Yes? Is this helpful? Go ahead and let me know by adding a 2 in the comments that this is super helpful. No, you're talking to me. I need to bring this back into my surface. I need to put it back into the forefront, how to maintain and identify when fear comes in, or identify when I sense an anger emotion coming in and my stress hormones are now kicking red. You want to be able to control that. Do you want to challenge yourself before 2023 on how to control so you don't self-sabotage and leak in through 2023 with the same repeated habits? Self-sabotage should not be anyone's friend, but you want to identify it. You want to know that, okay, how am I self-betraying myself? How am I holding on to the past experiences that's lingering as a residue in my current circumstances, right? I want to leave you with this old, great ancient saying. Whatever you have going on, whatever you're doing now within your hands, yes? Whatever you have going on right now, whatever you're doing with your hands, I want you to do it with all your might, all your power. You with me, John? Hey, Scott, with all your ability, do the best that you can. Yes? Can you challenge yourself today when you're identifying an emotion, when you're now having to go into a Zoom meeting and you're kind of looking around and you have a sense of stress coming through because not everybody's showing up to that Zoom meeting at work or in your team building? Identify that, embrace that self-sabotage and wanting to get immediately into that stress hormone level instead of saying, things may have happened. Bringing that people part of you back. Remember that part, that charismatic piece, that sympathetic part. It's not always about your competency and your skill set and your goal-getting attitude. It's also embracing where you are now and where you like to go. I'm done. I definitely hope this is helpful. Let me know in the comments, how's this been beneficial for you? I may go ahead and maybe expound on this on another day and go even deeper. Yes. In the meantime, I want you to continue telling yourself, think positive, think bigger. Maybe perhaps what you're doing today is having you to think super small. If you're looking for support, go ahead and put in the comments or DM me personally, and I will personally reach out to you. Meantime, have an amazing day, and I will see you next time, my friend.